So you can listen to this practice wherever it is that you find yourself today. You can be in a still position. You can be stretching and doing things if that's what you got to do. And hopefully, wherever you're at when you listen, this will still be helpful to you in some way. So if you would prefer to listen to this while being in a still position, you can let now be the time where you allow yourself to fidget, adjust, stretch, and move your body in whatever ways your body wants to move. So you do your best to not think about these movements at all or worry about what anything looks like, but stepping more fully into your sense of feeling as you become curious of what movements feel good in your bones, muscles, and joints. And if what feels best in your body at any time is stillness, then honoring that need for stillness whenever that feels like what you need. And there's also no rush whatsoever. You can continue to move throughout this practice whenever you have the need to. But at any point, if you haven't already and would like to, you can make your way to a still position. As you check in that your spine is nice and straight in whatever position you've chosen. And if you're in a space where you feel safe and would like to, you can allow your eyes to gently close at any time if they aren't already. As you take this moment now to make note of your starting point for your practice today. Noticing any resting expression on the face. Noticing the quality of the breath. Noticing any areas of fidgeting or restlessness. Any areas of tension or holding. And then on your next inhale, you can consciously call more air into your body, just a little bit more than you might normally, and get as full as you possibly can get. And once you are full, just pausing for a moment to experience what that feels like in the body to be full of this air. And as you need to, slowly exhale all of it out of you. Exhaling bit by bit. As you gently pull the navel in toward the spine at the bottom of your exhale to push any last bit of stagnant air out of you. As you again pause for a moment here. To now stay and experience the sense of emptiness in the body. As you allow your next breath to come in as it's needed. And you can continue to breathe in this intentional and exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. Just intentionally slowing down the 4 parts of the breath. The inhale, the pause, followed by the exhale, and the pause. And just communicating to our nervous system that right now is a time to slow down, a time to turn our attention inward and to release. And you can continue to breathe in this slow and intentional, exaggerated way for as long as it feels good and helpful to you. But at any point, if you haven't already, you may release this guidance over your breath altogether and allow yourself to step into the role of the observer, or into the role of the witness. As you shift into that perspective where you are no longer controlling or guiding the rhythm or depth of your breath, but you are simply watching as your own body breathes you. And just remembering how your body is a force of nature. And you are capable of witnessing yourself and your own body and all of its automatic natural processes, just like you are capable of witnessing any other force of nature. Not trying to change anything about what it is you are seeing, but simply watching. And so even if there is a storm present within the body somewhere, seeing if even just for a moment you can watch that storm the same way you would watch a storm out the window. Watching the wind and the rain whipping in the trees, and not trying to change anything about this storm that you are witnessing, but just watching each raindrop as it comes and goes. And remembering how every storm does run out of rain eventually. And so you are allowed to soften your body physically around any internal storms you are facing. And not add any extra tension, any extra pain in the form of resistance. And simply allow yourself to be in whatever storm you are in. Or simply allow yourself to be basking in the sunshine if that's where you're at. If things feel really good in your body and in your life, allowing yourself to soak in all of that as well, to make the most of those times in our lives. And if you are in the middle of any form of storm, emotional storm or physical storm within the body, maybe mental, psychological, spiritual, you can also bring to mind all of the times that you've been basking in the sun. not to ignore the current storm you are facing, not to cover up any of this pain or discomfort, but simply to remind yourself that things have not always been this way. And there have been times in your life where you have felt pure joy and love and light, even when it feels nearly impossible to remember. The one thing we can count on in life is that everything changes, especially how we feel. And so you can use this time and this healing practice and any and all healing practices to show up for yourself exactly as you already are. Not how you wish you were or how you expect to be, but how you are. All aspects that make up this complex version of you that exists right now, that is constantly evolving and changing. Just taking a moment to appreciate the novelty in who you are in this exact moment. Because right now is the only time you will ever feel in this exact way and experience these exact feelings, this exact unique mixture of feelings and experiences, and whatever it is you are perceiving. And you can continue to feel all that is here for you to feel. Continue to soften your body into all it is that you are feeling. As you listen to the following words that were written by Octavia Raheem in her book, Pause, Rest, and Be. Stillness practices for courage in times of change. And you can just allow anything at all that feels like it resonates with you to soak in a little deeper and not worrying about the rest. Even if the world as you knew it was not the world you wanted it to be, you are allowed to mourn the death of it. You may have yearned for this divorce from that reality and still weep now as you stand at the grave of your marriage. Perhaps the life you were living wasn't the life you are worthy of and desired. You are allowed to grieve it as it disappears and becomes invisible. This is a threshold. If you do not walk through the valley, you do not cultivate the capacity to make it to the peak. As you learn to be with your grief, you expand your capacity to be in your joy. If you cannot face your grief, you limit access to joy. Grief and joy are sacred twins. You do not have to face it all at once. Your heart is a portal, a doorway into the truth hidden underneath every feeling and emotion. Perhaps today you sit outside the door and lean your back against it. And then the next day you crack the door open, and so on. You do not have to fling it open, and do not bolt it closed. Do not lock yourself out of your own heart. Your heart may be broken. Walk through the opening. Rest in the inner sanctuary of your being, and place your most intimate, soft, and longing prayers on the altar within your heart. This is one way to remember you are whole. You can just take the next few moments to allow each and every word that you've heard today and each and every feeling that you have felt today to settle within you. Imagining that every word and feeling was just a little speck of glitter within this big snow globe of your own body. And now is the time where we set you down. Let the glitter settle and let the air clear. And you can trust that anything at all that you heard today that really resonated with you or struck a chord with you on some level, you can just trust that that feeling can sometimes come when we hear on the outside what a part of ourselves already knows to be true on the inside. So just allowing those deep truths to be enhanced within you, so that you feel a little bit more confidence to act on your own intuition and to trust your own instincts. And if it feels like something you would like to do today, you can now let your hands come and find each other in a prayer position toward heart center. As you feel this contact of your palms and fingertips to one another, and you let your heart lift toward your thumbs as your thumbs press back toward your heart. As you tune in to this steady rhythm of your own heartbeat, the background beat to your entire existence. As you now call in a final deep and full breath of air into the body, filling up to every corner and edge of you, the most you have today. And as you exhale, letting go of anything at all you're ready to let go of, as you allow the head to gently bow. As you take this moment to bow to the source of energy that allows all of our hearts to beat, whatever you believe that to be. And bowing to everyone else in this space who has listened and completed this practice right alongside you. And finally, bowing to yourself for choosing to show up today and taking the time out of your busy life for this pure act of self-love and self-care. And may this act continue to heal you through the rest of your days and nights. And may you bring the same love and understanding to everything you do and to everyone that you see. Thank you, thank you, thank you.